All right, what's going on YouTube? Let's talk Josh Taylor defeating Ivan Baranchyk in the World Boxer Super Series semifinals. So Josh Taylor's going to advance, fight Regis Prograis in the finals at 140. And that's the fight that everybody wants to see at 140. They're both undefeated and they both look great. They both look like they have a promising future. Baranchyk, he fought a good fight. All right, it wasn't a dominated performance. It was a competitive fight. I know he got dropped twice, but he won his fair share of rounds. I believe one of the judges had it a little too wide for me. Okay, I thought he won a solid amount of rounds. I think he did well. I think Josh Taylor took he took a lot of risk in this fight. Excuse me. Ooh. He took a lot of risk in this fight. He could have kept it a rangy fight. He could have stuck his jab out all night and used his lateral movement and set up shots and pop shot it, but he didn't do that. You know, he fought Baranchyk's fight a good amount of a good period of this fight. He fought Baranchyk's fight. He kept it close range. He attacked the body. I thought he took a lot of shots because of it, but he fought a good fight. You know, Josh Taylor has proven in these fights like this, fights against like Victor Postal, he's proven to me that he's a very versatile fighter. Okay, he's also shown that he has a good chin. He took a lot of big punches. He took combinations from Baranchyk in this fight, and he held up well. He didn't get dropped. He was left caught off balance a little bit here and there, but he's showing that he's a well-rounded fighter, and I like that. Okay, he's made adjustments in fights. I like that. I like to see that. He fought a solid opponent. Baranchyk is arguably a top 3 or 4 fighter at 140 in my opinion. You know, just based on the eye test, I think he can beat up a lot of these guys at 140. Most of them. You know, I think it would probably be between him and Victor Postal. I still think Victor Postal is one of the top fighters at 140. You have the other champs, Maurice Hooker. You have Ramirez, but I think Baranchyk would have a good chance of beating both of those fighters. All right. So for Josh Taylor to win, and I also believe that Josh Taylor have fought, regardless of how you feel the fight between Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor is gonna go. Um, I do believe that Josh Taylor fought the more difficult fighters. Okay. I think Relic is a good fighter at 140, but I don't think he's as good as Baranchyk. I think Baranchyk was a much better fighter. Okay. And I think Regis Prograis would beat Baranchyk as well. But, you know, they would have to actually fight. But I think Baranchyk would beat a Cairo Relic. You know, I think he would have destroyed Relic in that fight. But great fight. Taylor, if I'm gonna nitpick, I think after the 2 knockdowns, I thought he got a little sloppy at times. Okay, I thought he just was loading up on everything, and he really, really wanted the stoppage. Okay, and I think he fought reckless at times. You know, it's good that he took the fight to Baranchyk. It made it a better fight, but he didn't fight a well disciplined fight. You know, at certain points, it was a great action fight, but I think if when he fights Regis Prograis, whatever the game plan is, he needs to stick. Whatever's working for him, he needs to stick to it. I think he needs to do a better job. And I'll do a breakdown of that fight when they actually announce it as it gets closer. I'm not going to do a breakdown now because I'm not sure who I'm going. I knew that these two was going to meet in the finals, but I'm not sure who's going to win yet. All right, but that's the only thing I can really say. You know, I think at one point in this fight, Taylor didn't make as much of a use of his jab, and he kept fighting coming forward. Okay, I did like his body work. All right, I did like that. You know, he definitely attacked the body, but he left himself open and took a lot more punches from Baranchyk than he had to. You know, he didn't need to. Um, but it's still excellent fight. Excellent fight. Though Taylor gave away the last couple rounds. I thought Baranchyk finished strong, but it just wasn't enough. You know, I had Josh Taylor up a couple more rounds, and then you had the knockdowns. All right, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Baranchyk It is what it is. It's not a big loss. It's not a too bad of a loss because I think he's still a top guy, and I think he still has a good future at 140. Um, so as far as the finals, I'm gonna briefly talk about the finals. Regis Prograis, what I see in him, and comparing his fight with Relic. Regis Prograis has a great outside game. I don't believe that Josh Taylor is better than Regis Prograis on the outside. I think Prograis is just defensively better. I think he's the sharper puncher. He might even be the biggest puncher. That straight left hand, whether it's to the top, up top to the body. He's just really he's a sniper with that punch. Okay, um, just more accurate to me. I think that he has very good legs as well. All right, very good footwork. I mean, very well balanced fighter. But I haven't seen no one push him yet. He's controlled all of his fights. Maybe it's because he's just that good. He's so dominant that he hasn't been forced to fight any different way. When we saw him fight against Regis Prograis, and it's funny because I was watching that fight with my dad. Uh, I'm sorry, when Regis Prograis was fighting Carol Relic, me and my dad was watching that fight after we saw the Baranchyk Josh Taylor fight, and my dad was actually more impressed with Josh Taylor. He thinks Josh Taylor is going to win the fight, but he was impressed with Regis Prograis. It's just that Prograis was so dominant that fight. He thought that Prograis didn't have the need to still fight a safe fight. I think he thought we was arguing that. I think that he's being smart by fighting this way because Relic does have power. If you're winning the fight this way, why change it? And he was saying, well, he's so dominant, just put him away. Don't wait into the corner to stop it. Just destroy him already. Why are we going rounds and rounds? It was clear in the second round, by the end of the second round, he was so much better than this guy. Why are we going to continue fighting this way? So you go back and forth with this, on how you feel. It's just that there's no fighter. Regis has been so dominant. There's no fighter that has pushed him, and had changed it up on him. Relic, who was trying to get closer, just couldn't do it. Regis was just too slick, Josh Taylor is a fighter that I think he's going to take the same approach or a similar approach that he did against Victor Postal. I think Victor Postal started out boxing well on the outside, and Taylor started to make it a physical inside fight, where Postal is not as comfortable in fighting. So I think Josh Taylor, when they do fight, Josh Taylor is going to have to make it a more rugged fight. In his defense over Prograis, Taylor has fought the better fighters, in my opinion. I think Taylor beating Postal, who was supposed to fight Regis Prograis at one time. Postal, solid fighter. I know he lost to Crawford, lost to Bud, but he did stop Matisse. He did fight some good fighters leading up to that point. Okay. And fighting Baranchyk was also a big win. I believe Prograis would beat Baranchyk as well. But I still think that was the better fight between the better opponent between Baranchyk and Relic. All right. So interesting. Something that I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch video and their fights again. The fights that I've already seen, but that's gonna be a difficult breakdown there because they both look like they have a very promising future. And I think they're both clearly the top two at 140. I think it's clear to me that these two are the top two fighters at 140, regardless of the other champions that's out there. It's definitely between these two fighters. So I can't wait to see the finals in that. And I think whoever wins that finals, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to try to become undisputed before going up to 140 because the bigger fights are at 140. But the more competitive fights is at 142. As good as these two are at 140, I'm saying the more competitive fights are at 147. That's what I'm saying. The more competitive fights is at 147. All right, the bigger money, the bigger names. You know, you got guys at 147 that did their thing at 141st before going up to 147. You know, you have Bud up there, who was the last undisputed at 140. You had Garcia up there, who he was unified at 140. All right. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens in this finals. Looking forward to this finals. All right. They both belong there. And let me know what you guys think on the review, on the fight, and who do you think is gonna win the finals? Okay. Uh, it's a tough one to call, man. Tough one to call. But I like to, hear from you guys in the comments. And that's it. All right. Got more heavyweight stuff to talk about. All right. Peace.